What if the wisdom of Atlantis did not sink with the island, but survived on emerald tablets? A lost civilization, a mysterious god of wisdom, ancient knowledge carved into green stone, and a legend claiming that the secrets of the universe were saved before Atlantis disappeared beneath the sea. For decades, people have whispered about the emerald tablets as if they were more than ancient writings. Some call them the lost teachings of Atlantis. Some believe they were left behind by Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom. Others say they contain the hidden laws of reality itself, the secrets of life, death, energy, and the stars. But there is a problem. The deeper we search, the more the story splits in two. On one side there is the legend, on the other, history, and somewhere between them lies one of the most mysterious names in ancient wisdom, the Emerald Tablet. In the legendary version, the story begins before Egypt, before the pyramids, before recorded history. It begins with Atlantis. According to modern occult tradition, Atlantis was not just a lost island. It was a civilization of advanced knowledge, a world that understood the hidden forces of nature, the stars, the soul, and the structure of the universe. And when Atlantis fell, the legend says that one figure survived, Thoth the Atlantean, a priest, a king, a master of wisdom, a keeper of secrets too powerful to vanish with the sinking world. In this version of the story, Thoth carries the knowledge of Atlantis into ancient Egypt. There he becomes associated with writing, magic, science, mathematics, and sacred knowledge. The Emerald Tablets become his message to the future. Not just books, not just symbols, but a survival code from a lost civilization. They speak of hidden chambers, cosmic laws, vibration, immortality, the soul's journey, and ancient powers buried beneath time. For anyone fascinated by Atlantis, this is almost irresistible, because the legend connects three powerful ideas: a lost civilization, a god of wisdom, and a set of tablets that might preserve knowledge humanity was never meant to forget. But then history interrupts. When scholars talk about the Emerald Tablet, they usually do not mean a long collection of Atlantean teachings. They mean something much shorter, a mysterious hermetic text known as the Tabula Smaragdina, the Emerald Tablet, traditionally linked to Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure combining Greek Hermes and Egyptian Thoth. This text became famous among alchemists, philosophers, and mystics. Its most famous idea is often summarized as above, so below, a phrase that suggests a hidden connection between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, the universe and the human soul. For medieval and Renaissance alchemists, the Emerald Tablet was not just poetry, it was a key to transformation, a key to nature, a key to the secret relationship between the visible world and the invisible one. But historically, the trail does not lead clearly to Atlantis. The known versions of the Emerald Tablet appear through Arabic, Hermetic, and alchemical traditions, later translated into Latin, and then absorbed into European occult philosophy. That does not make the text ordinary. Far from it. It became one of the most influential mystical writings in the history of alchemy. But the Atlantis connection? That belongs mostly to a much later tradition. The famous Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean are not the same thing as the ancient Emerald Tablet of alchemy. They are part of a modern esoteric tradition that reimagines Thoth as a survivor of Atlantis and presents the tablets as his hidden teachings. This is where the mystery becomes fascinating, because the Atlantis version may not be ancient history, but it became a powerful modern myth, a myth that people wanted to believe. Why? Maybe because Atlantis represents something humanity cannot let go of. The idea that we once knew more, that ancient people held wisdom we lost, that somewhere in the past, before disaster, before war, before memory broke apart, there was a civilization that understood the universe better than we do now. The Emerald Tablets became the perfect vessel for that dream. Greenstone, secret words, Thoth, Egypt, Atlantis, alchemy. Everything points toward hidden knowledge. But perhaps the real secret is not that the tablets came from Atlantis. Perhaps the real secret is that the legend of Atlantis attached itself to the Emerald Tablet because the text already felt ancient, forbidden, and incomplete. It spoke like a fragment of something larger. It sounded like a message from a world we could no longer reach. So people gave that world a name, Atlantis. In the end, there may be two truths. The historical Emerald Tablet is a real hermetic and alchemical text that shaped centuries of mystical thought. The Atlantean Emerald Tablets are a modern occult legend built around the dream of lost ancient wisdom. One belongs to the history of alchemy, the other belongs to the mythology of Atlantis. But both ask the same question. What if the greatest secrets of humanity were not ahead of us, but behind us? Hidden in symbols, buried in translation, carried by names like Thoth and Hermes, waiting for someone to understand what the old words were trying to say. Maybe the Emerald Tablet was never a relic from Atlantis, but maybe that is why the legend survived. Because some mysteries do not need to be proven to be powerful. They only need to make us wonder whether history has forgotten something important. If this mystery pulled you deeper into the unknown, subscribe to Midnight Myth Files for more real legends, ancient secrets, lost relics, and stories that still refuse to be solved. And tell me in the comments, do you believe the Emerald Tablets were born from ancient alchemy, or do they carry the shadow of Atlantis?